Chris, I just saw your stand-up act here at the Comix at Foxwoods, and it was great. It was a blast. Good. Huge crowd here.
Great, fun crowd. Yeah.
It's great to see you here at this location. There's so many of your team is coming through here.
Yeah.
In the region, New England, Connecticut. You know, at this very club, the Wilbur in Boston.
Yeah.
Chelsea's kicking off her tour in
the
May.
Lies tour.
Yeah, the Lies. Chelsea Handler told me.
Right.
Which I believe Josh Wolf is going to be on.
Josh, Heather, and Brad are on it. Yeah, and Chelsea.
It seems that so many of you guys are on the road. There's constant contact.
Right.
Do you feel that there's a reflection of that in the show?
On Chelsea Lately?
On Chelsea Lately, where, you know, do you feel like more in tune with certain things? You're at different parts of the country.
Yeah. It's the only show now that's putting comics on, you know, which is great. So we're on every day, and so you're getting comics to do they're not only doing their stand-up act, like on a Leno or a Letterman, they would come out and they would do their act.
Sure.
On our show, you get to kind of create a personality without doing your material, you know, so I think that's good for that. And then we come out on the road, like myself and all of those guys, Josh and Joe and Natasha and everybody. And I think people are surprised that we're actually like real comedians. You know, we've all been doing stand-up for 20 years, even before Chelsea Lately. Chelsea, myself, Joe, Josh, everybody. So it's great when people actually see us live. They're like, wow, it's much different than it is on Chelsea Lately. But, you know, I hope it is. There's a lot of things we can't say on Chelsea Lately that we can say live. We get away with a lot on Chelsea Lately, but, you know, it's always a much more fun show to see people live. Like, you know, and all those guys have great live shows. Joe Coy puts on a great live show. Josh puts on a great live show. So it's a lot of fun to see them live.
It's a pretty fast-paced show. I mean, she does the opener, then boom, it's to panel.
Right.
And, you know, here it seems when seeing you guys live, it's the opportunity for you to like complete a thought. Sometimes.
Exactly. Right. That's a good point. Yeah, that's exactly true. I mean, we don't have to. And the thing is, now with Chelsea Lately, the reason why we have some of the same people on a lot, like almost a cast at this point, is because of that. It does move fast. We've had a lot of people on who just they're not ready to move that quickly. We've all picked it up, and we could roll with it. So. Yeah, but you're right. We do get to complete a thought and actually go on and, you know, talk for a little while.
Panel segment on Chelsea Lately, it's what, maybe 10 minutes including commercial?
12 to 14 on a sometimes we do it on a long day, we do 14, sometimes 12, but yeah.
Right, right. And that's split up between 4 people essentially.
Yeah, more or less.
And so you have maximum like 3 minutes.
3 minutes, yeah, in and out. Yeah. And in that time, probably doing 5 topics or 5 jokes or however you want to look at it. So yeah, it moves, but you know, it's fun. That's why for comics who like to work that way, it's a great show to be on. You know, you don't have to. There's no restrictions. We're never asked what we're going to talk about. We're never asked to, like a lot of times with like a Leno or a Letterman, you have to submit your act, or even Last Comic Standing, and they have to go over it, and they have to tell you, Chelsea's not like that at all. She'll let you say whatever you want, and a lot of times, if you say something that's pretty edgy, she'll fight for it to get it on if she feels it's strong enough. Like she'll fight the EE people and whatever, so. Cool. Yeah, she's pretty good like that.
Well, I also really wanted to talk to you about After Lately, which there's been 2 episodes so far.
2, another one, third one coming up to Sunday night, yeah.
And how many have you guys shot so far?
9.
9, okay.
Yeah.
And when do you start production again? Is that based on a deal?
Based on a deal. Okay. We're kind of waiting to see. The ratings are great. We're doing very well. You know, it's a big night on Sunday for E! They have their Kardashian night. So, and our show's completely different than anything on E! So, right. I mean, we knew we were going to get a little bit hammered. It really, you know, for that reason, it is. I hate saying scripted because it's not scripted, but it is. It's where, you know, there's a structure to it. We're making almost a sitcom.
Right, right.
You know, there's a beginning, a middle, and an end, and storylines and blah blah blah. But most of what we're saying while that's happening is improvised and riffed while we're shooting it. Mm-hmm. But we do know where we're going. Like we sat down and wrote, and not just us. We have other writers too. Who you know sat down and wrote these things that actually happened in our office. That's what we wanted to get a point. We thought these things happen in our office every day. It seems funny. We should make almost like an office type, Curb Your Enthusiasm type sitcom out of it.
Right, right.
Many years ago, there was a show called Larry Sanders. You would know, but
yeah,
yeah, that's what we were really going for.
Sure.
Like a show about a show, but our shows actually really exist. In the case of Larry Sanders, it was a fake show.
Right.
So it was, and I think we did it. I think it's very good. I think if you I know people, they're weirded out by seeing us almost act, which we're not, but, we're not on the round table.
But I mean, I think that's kind of absurd, because I think one of the fun things about Chelsea lately has been the vignettes.
Yeah. Right.
That you're like, this is, a camera is peeking over someone's shoulder with something actually kind of happening. There's some of those moments seem totally legit. Yeah. Other ones they're great setups. Yeah.
That's kind of what we're going for. So, and everything that's happens on after lately is something that has truly happened at least one time in the office, and maybe somewhat embellished. But
sure.
Yeah, so it's a fun show. I really enjoy doing it.
I mean, how did the show begin? It's like, we got all these people here. There's more stuff we could do with them, or how was the
Yeah, kind of. I mean, it's just because of the success of Chelsea lately, especially on E! It's a very successful show, and Chelsea's very successful. So I think they were looking for something more. I think almost at this point, they're looking to almost change E! a little bit. Because now it's like a Comcast. Now Comcast merged with NBC, and this whole bit. This is like, I guess
sure.
you know about that.
Oh,
but,
yeah.
So anyway, so now I think they're almost trying to get away from the reality. Not the Kardashians necessarily. That's a big hit, and that and so is Holly's World and Kendra.
Right.
But that type of look, that reality show feel. So they wanted something that's almost like. Comedy Central did it a couple of times with a couple of shows, and so they were looking for something kind of what we were doing. And this is the first one that's happened. So we decided, because of stories that happened in our office, we thought this would be funny to shoot. And everybody's actually kind of good actors, surprisingly, because none of us are really actors, but we do kind of get the job done.
Right.
I mean, almost to the point where, us who are comedians like Brad and myself and Heather and Sarah Colonna are good, but there are guys who've never acted before in their lives who are really, like, we have security guards in our office who are now on the show.
That's right.
Yeah, and they're great. They get the job done.
Sure.
So it's fun.
It's funny how the security guard has become like this part of Hollywood.
Yeah.
Like on Kimmel.
Yeah.
It's just
I know, it's amazing. Yeah, I guess you get to a point where you're shooting a show 5 days a week, and originally, when we started doing Chelsea, we actually had a casting director. We actually had somebody who was if we were doing a sketch, we would go out and cast people. And then finally one day, Chelsea's like, "Why don't we just get Hamlet or whoever, like one of our security guards can do it?"
Right.
And sure enough, that was we never cast again. Now it's just basically something comes up in the morning meeting. We want to do Franjola will play this, and blah 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 will play that, and
sure.
we're off and running. We were shooting both shows, so it was killing us as the cast members of Chelsea. We were shooting the writers and cast members like Brad, myself, Sarah Colonna, and Heather, and Jeff Wild, Jiffy. We would shoot Chelsea Lately all day, and then we would shoot After Lately at night. So we were there from about 9 a.m. till about midnight shooting both shows.
Oh.
So, but in the end, we really enjoyed it. We had some great guest stars coming in. We have Reese Witherspoon coming on tomorrow night's episode, and then we got a bunch more coming. There's a lot of big. We have one at the end, a big superstar surprise. So,
wow. Well,
yeah,
that's great.
It's pretty fun.
Well, and that's so convenient also because of you have Chelsea Lately. Not only is it feeding
right.
the cast, but you have these guests come through, and I'm sure
we basically write around it. We see that they're coming up in a week,
right.
and we're like, let's do a thing with so and so. And a lot of times, some people will not be interested, but for the most part, some of these people are great sports. Like Reese Witherspoon was a great sport, cool. And she was up for anything. And some of we have Dr. Drew coming up in an episode, and he was up for anything. So we got a lot of good people. I think last week was Juliana Rancic was on, and she was great.
Yeah.
So yeah, people have been really good, and we have one huge superstar, and then we have a big person that you would never think would be on Chelsea Lately for how bad we make fun of them.
Oh my gosh!
But they came down and did it, so it works out great.
Well, thanks for these little hints.
Yeah.
Can't wait.
Keep watching; it's good. Actually, Chelsea just supports her friends, man. She wants. She'll be the first to tell you, I never wanted to create like a bunch of comics on the road touring successfully and such, because I didn't want to do that. But I just wanted to hang out with my friends, like right. Josh and Joe, and we've all known her forever. And so she's like, as long as I can hang out with my friends, I'm having a good time. So out of that came this. So we're all enjoying it. And thank you for supporting us in live comedy and all that stuff.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, thanks again, Chris. It's been a pleasure. And
you bet. This is going to be fascinating for everybody.
Going to be
Josh, Heather, and Brad are on it. Yeah, and Chelsea.
It seems that so many of you guys are on the road. There's constant contact.
Right.
Do you feel that there's a reflection of that in the show? Well, Chris, I just saw your stand-up act here at the Connecticut. You know, at this very club. The Wilbur in Boston.
Yeah.
Chelsea's kicking off her tour in
the
May.
Lies tour.
Yeah, the Lies. Yeah. Chelsea Handler told me.
Right.
Which I believe Josh Wolf is mix at Foxwoods, and it was great. It was a blast. Huge crowd here.
Great, fun crowd. Yeah.
It's great to see you here at this location. There's so many of your team is coming through here.
Yeah.
In the region, New England, Connecticut.
On Chelsea lately?
On Chelsea lately, where, you know, do you feel like more in tune with certain things? You're at different parts of the country.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's the only show now that's putting comics on, you know, which is